Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. So today we're going to discuss about Python keywords. So what keywords do we have in Python? So we will discuss about Python keywords and by seeing some few examples. Okay, but everything, the examples, the solved examples I have placed in a Word with a screenshot, so you can see here so that you can get a clear idea. So first, what are keywords? So keywords are the reserved words in Python. We cannot use a keyword as a variable name, function name, or any identifier. For example, let us take if. Okay, so if is a keyword. Okay, or else, or true, in, pass, import. So these are all keywords. So we can't use these keywords as a variable name or a function name or any other identifier. So let's see some list of all keywords which we use in Python programming. So keywords in Python programming language. False. So we say true or false. These are Boolean, right? So Boolean true, Boolean false. So false and true. So these are keywords. None. So none is a keyword. And. So we have and, right? So and is a keyword. As is a keyword. Assert, async, await. Okay, so async is nothing but asynchronous. Okay, so await, break. So we mostly use break, right? So if you want to stop our loop, we'll use break. Class. Okay, so once we have given break, if we want to continue that, we'll use continue. So define, def. So def is used to define a function. del. So del is a delete. So elif. So elif is nothing but else if. Else. Okay, so except. Finally, for, from, global, if. So we know if loop, right? So if is also a keyword. Import, in, is, and we have a lambda as well. So lambda is also a keyword. Non-local, not, or, pass, raise, return. So we know what return is, right? Try. So we have try clash block. In that we have try, right? So try is also a keyword. While, so we use while loop. So while is also a keyword. So with, yield. So the above keywords may get altered in different versions of Python. So in different versions we have different types of keywords, but the keywords which I am showing are the latest keywords, that is in the version latest version keywords. Some extra might get added or some might be removed. You can always get the list of keywords in your current version by typing the following. So if you open the prompt, okay, so if you press import keyword, okay, so let me show this. So we should go to Anaconda 3 and we have prompt, Anaconda prompt. Okay, so here we should type Python. Okay, so what we need to give? We need to give import. So import keyword, keyword, right? So import keyword. So import keyword. After that, print keyword dot kw list. So print keyword dot kw list. So these are the keywords which are present for my current version. Okay, so false, none, true, and, as, assert, async, await, break, class, continue, define, delete. So in this way you can check the keyword. So import keyword, after that print keyword dot kw list. Okay, so yeah, so here these are the current keywords which we have. So description of keywords in Python with examples. Okay, so let's see, the first one is true and false keywords. So what are true and false keywords? So true and false are truth values in Python. They are the result of comparison operators or logical Boolean operations in Python. So for example, 1 double equal to 1. So what is 1 double equal to 1? So 1 double equal to 1, it will always yields true. So 5 greater than 3. So 5 greater than 3 will always yields true. Okay. So true or false? True. 10 less than or equal to 1. So which is already which is false, right? So we'll get false. 3 greater than 7 will get false. Okay, so in this manner, here we can see the first 3 statements are true, so the interpreter returns true and returns false for the remaining 3 statement. So in Python, true stands for 1 and false stands for 0. So this can be justified with example. So if we say true double equal to 1, we'll get true. Why? Because true will always yields value 1 and false will always yields value 0. So false double equal to 0. False double equal to 0. False is 0, right? So we'll get true. So true plus true. So true is 1 and true is 1. So we'll get 2. 1 plus 1, 2. So none is a special constant in Python that represents the absence of a value or a null value. It is an object of its own data type, the none type. So we have a special keyword in Python called as none. Okay, what is none here? Absence of a value or a null value. So it is an object of its own data type, the none type. So we cannot create multiple none objects, but can assign it to variables. So we can't create multiple none objects, but we can assign it to variables. So these variables will be equal to one another. Okay. For example, none double equal to 0. So false. So none equal to empty. False. None equal to false. False. X equal to none, y equal to none. X double equal to y. It will be true. Okay. So void functions that do not return anything will return a none object. So void means nothing. Okay. So none is also written by functions in which the program flow does not encounter a return statement. Okay. So none is also written by functions in which the program flow does not encounter a return statement. For example, define a underscore void underscore function. So define, that means we are defining a function in Python, and after that we should give a column. Okay. So what about C programming? If we say function add open parenthesis and we'll give open parenthesis and close parenthesis, but here after function we should give a column. So a equal to 1, b equal to 2, c equal to a plus b. So x equal to a underscore void underscore function, print x. It prints nothing. Okay, so we are calling that function, we are printing that x, so it doesn't contain anything, right? Okay, so none. This program has a function that does not return a value. Okay, this function will not return a value. Then how come it prints the value? So it will print none. Okay, so when we print x, we get none, which is written automatically, that is implicitly. So similarly, here is another example. Define improper return function a. If a percentile 2 double equal to 0, return true. So x equal to, we are calling that function of 3. So it goes to 3 percentile 2 double equal to 0, then it will return true. But if you see, although this function has a return statement, it is not reached in every case. Okay, so why we got none here? Answer: although this function has a return statement, it is not reached in every case. The function will return true only when the input is even. So why we got none here? Only when the input is even, it will return true. So that's the reason we got output as none. Okay. So we also have another operators called and or not. Okay. And or not are the logical operators in Python. And will result into true only if the both operands are true. Okay. So if you see, when both operands are true only, then we'll get true. In remaining all cases, we'll get false. So the truth table for and is given below. So if both are true, we'll get true. If any one is false in both, we'll get false. Okay. So what's the point here? If both true, then only true. In remaining all cases, it will yield false. So that's what happening here. So true, 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 false, 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 true, false, 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 false. Or will result into true if any operand is true. What is or here? If any one of the operand is true, then it will be result will be as a true. Okay. So true, 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 false. So one is true here, so we'll get true. False, true, here it is true, we'll get true. Both are false. So if both are false, we'll obviously get false. So not operator. So not operator is exactly reverse. If you have true, we'll get false. If you have false, we'll get true. So if you have true, we'll get false. If you have false, we'll get true. So we can say, check with an example, true and false. So true and false is nothing but 1 and 0. So we'll get obviously false. True or false, we'll get true. Why? Because any one can be true, right? So true or false, we'll get true. Not false. So not false means it's nothing but true. Now as. So as is also a keyword which is used to create an alias while importing a module. It means giving a different name user defined to a module while importing it. As example, Python has a standard module called math. Suppose we want to calculate what cosine pi is using an alias, we can do it as follows. So import math, we are importing that mathematical library as my alias. So I am importing that as I am changing with my name. Okay, so now we can import my alias. Okay, so why? Because as we are saying that we are importing math as my alias. Okay, so now I can use my alias. So my alias.cost, my alias.py will get the minus 1.0. Here we imported the math module by giving it the name my alias. Now we can refer to math module with this name. So no need of using math module. So we can refer this using my alias. Okay. And the next important one is assert. So what is assert? So assert is one keyword present in Python, which is used for debugging purposes. Okay. So while programming, sometimes we wish to know the internal state or check if our assumptions are true. Why? Because we need to debug our program. So assert helps us to do this and finds bugs more conveniently. Okay. So assert is followed by a condition. If the condition is true, nothing happens. Okay. If the condition is false, assertion error is raised. Okay. So we'll get an assertion error if the condition is false. Okay. So a equal to 4. Assert a less than 5. 4 less than 5. It's okay. Assert a greater than 5. 4 greater than 5. It's false. So we'll get an assertion error. Okay. So this is the example for assert. Okay. I hope you understand. So if it is true, nothing will happen. If it is false, then an assertion error will occur. So next important is async await. The async and await keywords are provided by the async library in Python. They are used to write concurrent code in Python. Okay, so they are used to write concurrent code one after another. So import async IO, async definition main, print hello, await async.sleep. So what happens is here we should use async IO.run of main in the above program. The async keyword specifies that the function will be executed asynchronously. Okay. Here first hello is printed. The await keyword makes the program wait for 1 second. Okay. So here we have hello. So now when world will be printed, in order for the world to be printed, you should wait for 1 second. Why? Because we are giving an await. Okay. First hello will be printed. Later on world will be printed. So here we are making the world to wait for 1 second. Okay, so that's the importance of async and await. So async means asynchronous, await means we are making that to wait. Next, break and continue. So break and continue are used inside for and while loops to alter the normal behavior. To alter the normal behavior, we use break and continue. So break will end the smallest loop it is in and control flows to the statement immediately below the loop. So what about continue? Continue causes to end the current iteration of the loop, but not the whole loop. Okay. So you can see the example here. For I in range 1 to 11. So what is this 1? 1 is start. 11 is stop. So we should not include 11. We should include up to 10. Up to from 1 to 10. Okay. If I double equal to 5. So first I is 1. 1 double equal to 5. No. Break. Okay. Next, 2 double equal to 5, 3 double equal to 5, 4 double equal to 5, 5 double equal to 5. So it up to 1, 2, 3, 4 will be printed. If 5 double equal to 5, it is true, then then a break will be executed and the remaining will not be printed. So only 1 to 4 will be printed. Here the for loop intends to print numbers from 1 to 10, but the if condition is met when I is equal to 5. So when is the if condition met? When I is equal to 5, 5 double equal to 5 is true, we break from the loop and we'll stop up to 4. So only the range 1 to 4 is printed. Okay. So for I in range 1 to 11, if I double equal to 5, continue. Okay. So what is the output? Up to 1 to 10 will be printed. Why? Because we are using continue here. Okay. Class. So class is also one keyword. So keyword class is used to define a new user-defined class in Python. So class is a collection of related attributes and methods that try to represent a real-world situation. Okay, so which is used in object-oriented programming. So classes can be defined anywhere in a program, but it is a good practice to define a single class in a module. So let's say an example. So class example class. So if you remember everything for function or if loop or while loop, we should use a colon after the loop. So class example class colon, define function 1 with parameters, again colon, define function 2 with parameters. Okay, so like that we can define our class. So class is a keyword. Define. So as we know that define is used to define the functions. So define is used to define a user defined function. So function is a block of related statements which together does some specific task. So it does some specific task. It helps us to organize code into manageable chunks and also do some repetitive tasks. Okay. So you can see an example like a define function name with parameters. Okay. We'll discuss all these when we go to that particular topic. Okay. Next, delete. So delete is one sort of a keyword is used to delete the reference to an object. So everything in object, everything is object in Python. So everything is an object in Python. We can delete a variable reference using delete. So if we say a equal to b equal to 5, we say delete a. So trace back, what error we get? Name a is not defined. Why? Because we will have only b equal to 5. Why? Because we deleted a using delete keyword. Okay. So next. Yeah, so a equal to x by z, we're deleting a of 1. So if we print a, next the first location will be deleted. So only x and z will be printed. So that's what we can see here. So next is if, else, if, else. So if, else, if, else are also keywords which we call it as a conditional branching or decision making. When we want to test some condition and execute a block only if the condition is true. Okay. So if condition, if it is true, the statement will be executed. Else part will be executed. Else if you want to check some other condition like else, we'll use else if. So in C programming we'll have else if, but in Python we call it as elif, E-L-I-F. Okay. So define if underscore example of a, if a double equal to 1, print 1. Elif a double equal to 2, print 2. Okay, else print something else. Okay, like that. So this is if, else. So next is except, raise, try. So except, raise, try are used with exceptions in Python. So when we discuss about exception handling, so it will be useful there. So exceptions are basically errors that say something went wrong while executing. So like IO error, value error, zero division error, import error, name error, type error. So these are some few exceptions present in Python. We can raise an exception explicitly with a raise keyword. So if we use a raise keyword, we can raise an exception. So define reciprocal. So try r equal to 1 by name except. Okay. Print exception code, return print reciprocal of 10, reciprocal of 0. So this is exception, except raise, and we can use try keyword. Okay, so this is an example for that exception. So exception caught. Okay. So next, finally. So finally used with try except block to close up resources or file streams. Using finally ensures that the block of code inside it gets executed even if there is unhandled exception. So whenever there is an unhandled exception, we can use this finally. Okay. So when we go for finally block, when it is unhandled, so try, it goes to try block, except it goes to exception 1 block, except it goes to exception 2 block, else it goes to else block. Finally, when all is done, it goes to finally block. So this is an example for finally keyword. Next is for. So for is used for looping. So generally we use for when we know the number of times we want to loop. So if we want to use for, we go for range. Okay, so for I in names, okay, so we have a list here. So list of names like John, Monica, Stephen, Robin. So for I in names, so in C program we'll say for I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, like that. Here for I in that particular list, so we'll get everything. So based on the indexing, like 0 indexing, first index, second index, third index, like that. So hello plus I, we're concatenating I here. So hello John, next hello Monica, next hello Stephen, next hello Robin, like that. Next from import. So import keyword is used to import modules into current. We already checked that. So import math. So import math in the sense we are importing mathematical library. So from math import COS. So from math library we are importing particular function like cost. So from math import cost. Okay. So next keyword is global. So global is used to declare that a variable inside the function is global, that is outside the function. So for that we use a global keyword. So global variable equal to 10. Define read one, print global variable. Define write one, global variable. Global variable equal to 5. Define write two, global variable equal to 15. So if we call read one, so which will be printed? Print global variable is 10. So read one will be printed 10. Next write one, global variable. So 5 will be printed. Okay. Write two, again write to global variable equal to 15. Okay. So it goes to write two, and global variable first declared is 5, and 5 will be printed. So read one function is just reading the value of global variable. So we do not need to declare it as a global, but the write one function is modifying the value. So we need to declare the variable as global. So for read, no need to declare variable as global. For write, which is modifying, right? So we should declare it as a global. So this is an example for global. So global variable equal to 10, define read one, like that. Next in. So as I said, for it is used for range. 5 in A. So 5 in A means whether 5 is present in that particular list or not. If it is present, true. 10 in A. In that particular list, 10 is not present. So we'll get false. Okay. For I in hello. Whether I is there in hello. For I in hello, in that string, for each index, it traverses. Print I means we'll get H. Later on E, later on L, later on L, and later on O. Next is. So true is true. True. False is false. Yeah, false is false, right? So true. None is none. Yeah, none is none. So true. So this is is also a keyword. So next lambda. So lambda is used to create an anonymous function with no name. So if you want to declare function with no name, we use lambda. It is an inline function that does not contain a return statement. Remember, lambda does not contain any return statement. It consists of an expression that is evaluated and returned. For example, a equal to lambda, x equal to x to the power of 2. Okay, for the range 1 to 6. So 1 to 6 in the sense it starts from 1 and 6 is excluded, up to 5 is included. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 into 2, 2. 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 3 into 2, 6, 4 into 2, 8. Okay. So print a of I. Okay. So a of I. So here, if you see, we have created an inline function that doubles the value using the lambda statement. We use this to double the values in a list containing 1 to 5. Okay. So this is all about lambda, which is an anonymous function. Next, non-local. So the use of non-local keyword is very much similar to the global keyword. Okay. So next, pass. Pass is a null statement in Python. Nothing happens when it is executed. It is used as a placeholder. Okay. Suppose we have a function that is not implemented yet, but we want to implement in the future. Simply write pass. Okay. So if we define like this, define function arguments, and if we leave it and we are not writing anything, we'll get an indentation error. So if we want to define this or declare statements in future, simply use pass keyword so that you'll not get any indentation error. Okay. So if you not declared pass, here you can see we got an indentation error. Okay. Next, return. So return statement is used inside a function to exit it and return a value. If we do not return a value explicitly, none is written automatically. So if we not return anything, which one is written? None is written automatically. You can see an example here. So define function return a equal to 10, return a. So 10 will be returned. Define no return a equal to 10. We are not returning anything. So what will be returned? None will be returned. So if you are not mentioning return statement, which one will be returned here? None. Okay. So next is while. So while is used for looping in Python. So the statements inside a while loop continue to execute until the condition for the while loop evaluates to false or a break statement is encountered. So I equal to 5 while I print I equal to I minus 1. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So note that 0 is equal to false. So 0 is equal to false. So up to 1 will be printed. So next with. So with statement is used to wrap the execution of a block of code within the methods defined by the context manager. Okay. So with open example.txt as my file. So my file.write hello world. This example writes the text hello world to the file example.txt. So this hello world is written inside the example.txt. So for that reason, we are using with statement. So with statement is used to wrap the execution of a block of code. Okay. So and the last keyword is yield. So yield is used inside a function like a return statement, but yield returns a generator. Okay. So generator is an iterator that generates one item at a time. A large list of values will take up a lot of memory. Generators are useful in this situation as it generates only one value at a time. Okay. So 2 to the power of x for x in range of 100. So what will you get? We'll generate a generator G which generates power of 2 up to the number 2 raised to the power 99. Okay. So next of G1, next of G2, next of G4. It's like power. Okay. So these are all about the keywords present in Python with examples. Okay. So the reason why I am placing all these screenshots is opening the IDE and executing this will take a lot of time and it will become a big video. So that's the reason I have already executed that and have taken the screenshot and I put in this Word document. So and I am recording this. So I hope you understood the topic. The students or the people who are watching my channel for the first time, I request you to please subscribe my channel and please share my videos to your friends and well-wishers. Please support my channel in all possible ways. Thank you. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Thank you.